The race to protect America is being led by a growing U.S. company that's better known for its spray-on truck bedliners. Southern California-based Linex Corporation makes a U.S. government-approved blast-proof paint that's sprayed onto buildings.
The Linex polymer is stronger than steel, but unlike steel, it's elastic, so it can absorb the impact from a bomb blast.
The product now protects the walls of the U.S. Pentagon, the Washington Naval Base, and the Federal Building in downtown New York. New Mexico Tech's Explosive Research Center recently conducted the latest round of tests on this new product.
We've got an office setting with somebody in it. This is an exact duplicate of the other room.
The explosive charge contains 200 pounds of TNT and 5 pounds of C4.
4, 3, 2, 1.
The dummy itself has been decapitated, and we certainly have complete failure in this room.
Building fragmentation causes over 80% of the casualties in a bomb blast. The protected wall remains intact, and the interior is undisturbed. With all the talk about terror prevention, Linex is one company that's taking action to address the issue.
The Linex polymer is stronger than steel, but unlike steel, it's elastic, so it can absorb the impact from a bomb blast. We've got an office setting with somebody in it. This is an exact duplicate of the other room.
Four, 3, 2, 1.
The dummy itself has been decapitated, and we certainly have complete failure in this room. This is an example of Linex blast-proof paint. It's 1/4 inch thick, and it took about 30 minutes to apply on each side of this wall. It is going to protect this CMU when the blast happens to stop fragments from flying into the building. This is an identical construction CMU wall, and we expect this to fragment and fly in and strike the people and objects inside. Linex is a spray-on polymer that's applied to metals, concretes, or woods that protects them against abuse. A common building method is called infill walls. They build a rigid frame and then fill in the gaps with cinder block. Those cinder block sections can be coated with Linex. The Linex will hold it together, and in the event of a bomb blast, will prevent fragments from flying in, causing damage and death.
What we hope to happen is this untreated cinder block wall is going to fail and fragment and cause damage inside of the room here, where we have some cameras monitoring the blast effects. And on the Linex treated wall, We hope to have an elastomeric effect where it will contain all the fragmentation and just flex and then return back to its original position.
The explosive charge contains 200 pounds of TNT and 5 pounds of C4.
And here we are exactly at 30 feet away from the wall.
Looks like the Line-X wall is intact.
Yes, it survived very well.
Got complete failure of the untreated wall. Lots of fragmentation in and outside of the building.
The debris out front is an effect from the blast pressure wave itself. What we've done is we've blown in the wall. While the debris was still in flight, the pressure wave reflected off of the back wall and brought this debris out here.
Let's go inside and inspect the interior. Significant fragmentation and failure in here. Lots of sharp shards and debris. The dummy itself has been decapitated. This is a total failure of this wall. This is precisely what we expected to see. Significant damage and impact to the test dummy and the equipment.
We have large bricks over here and other fragments of the debris.
We've got a chair full of sharp chunks of brick.
A whole brick weighing 18 to 20 pounds has impacted the dummy here. Obviously, the whole wall has failed. Had there been a real person in here, they would have not survived.
We're going to inspect the wall with the blast-resistant paint on it. Looks like this wall is 100% intact. The dummy is still in his seat. A little bit of dust on the desk, and one drawer is partially open, probably from the concussion.
Had this been a real person, they may have got some ringing in the ear, but they would have survived the effects of the blast. No fragmentation from the wall itself. The structure seems to be very competent.
A great demonstration is to drop a cinder block from the top of a building. What we will find is that that block will break into sharp fragments and shards. This demonstrates what would happen to a building that's not coated with the Line-X coating. It creates these deadly shards that would fly through a building, causing damage and fatalities. We can then take a similar block, coat it with Line-X, and drop it from the same height. As you can see, the Line-X block is intact. Probably it's broken inside, but the Line-X coating has held it all together.